Right now, we have another young Indian with us, part of the Voice of the Young segment. Hello, everyone. Right now, we have with us Vaibhav Rathi. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Vaibhav.
Thank you, sir. It is 9 p.m. over here in Nagda, Madhya Pradesh, India. Good evening, everyone. I'll share my screen. I have a short presentation. So let me do that. So as you can see, there's my name. I'm Vaibhav Rathi. Currently, I'm in Nagda, that is my hometown, which is situated in the Ujjain district of Madhya Pradesh, India. Through the course of this Vidped, I will be talking about the following topics. First, I'll give my general information, that is a basic introduction about myself. Then I'll talk about different stages of my life till date, that is school, the gap year, college, and the preparation for CFA examination. Then I'll briefly talk about my dad's business and my involvement in it. I did dissertation in the final year of my college, so I'll talk about that as well. Um, Gardening is my hobby. I'll talk about that towards the end of the conversation, and then we'll conclude.
Very good. Very organized. Great. Let's go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So general information, I was born and raised in Nagda, and I did my schooling from the Aditya Birla Public School, which is also situated in Nagda. I come from a small joint family, which has my parents, my brother, his wife, and his two kids. Then I went to Pune for my graduation, which I did from Symbiosis School of Economics, getting honors in economics. After graduating from Symbiosis in 2021, I started preparing for CFA from in mid of 2021. I gave the first two levels in 2022, and then the third in this August, a few weeks back. So that was the general information. Now I'll come to the stage one, that is schooling. I joined the Aditya Birla Public School in 2006. So that was the first standard until 12th I was over there. At school, I participated. I was more of a nerd kid. I was not much in sports. So mostly I participated in debates, played chess, and that's it. And mostly academia.
Okay.
After school, I started preparing for. So while the last 2 years of my schooling, I was keen to become a lawyer. Focused towards it, I started preparing for CLAT, that is the entrance examination to get into a law school in India, and various other examinations as well, but that's the major one. So after that, I started prepared. After school, I prepared for the said examination. I appeared for it, but could not score as much to get into a good law school.
Yeah.
So then I decided to take gap year. So that is the second stage, which you can see on the screen. Almost for the half of the academic year in 2017, I waited and waited with an aspiration that I could, my name would appear in one of the lists of the top law schools, but it never happened. So I finally decided to get into this law school, Navalmal Firodia Law College, which is a part of the Ferguson College in Pune. There's nothing wrong with the college. Maybe it was wrong with me, but I did not like the academia, the way things were taught over there. I stayed for less than 2 months, 1 month and 15 or 20 days. I dropped out. Didn't even wait for the internal examinations. I was like, this is not my thing.
Okay.
dropped out and started preparing for CLAT again, or another management examinations, that is like a general graduation. So that was the time where I realized that law was not my thing, and I started moving towards economics or other graduations, basically. So preparing for something for 2 years, being focused towards it, didn't really turn out to be well. But taking a random decision, which is the next stage we'll be talking about, that is doing economics at Symbiosis, taking a random decision to get into Symbiosis and choosing economics turned out to be well without a large amount of research. And that's it, moving towards the next stage, that is college. So that's the college. That's the college building, the Vishnu Bhavan, the oldest campus of Symbiosis in Pune, situated right besides the Symbiosis Hill, or the Symbi Hill, which we used to call it, on the Senapati Bapat Road. So this is a BSc honors degree in economics. We had it for 3 years back then. Now it is for 4 years with the new education policy now. So I really liked studying over here because I liked mathematics from right at school. And this degree, being BSc, it was more towards mathematical side of economics.
Right.
And the professors taught it in such a way, through numbers, through graphs, through pictures, and not just theory. So I really felt that this was my thing, and this is how I wanted to learn something. Maybe not just the subject, but the way it was taught. That made me more interested into it. And that's what continued in the later part, that is while preparing for the CFA examinations. So college was college for the first 2 years, we attended the offline lectures. In the third year, that is from April 2022, while the lockdown, we started the online classes. So the first 2 years were amazing, going to the classes, meeting friends, meeting the professors in person, doing projects and everything. That was wonderful. I really loved it.
Okay.
But the third year was, I don't know, I did not feel that it was right for me, or I could not connect with what was taught online. The teachers were the same, the classmates were the same, the professors were the same, but the way it was done, I did not connect with it. And I started so the graph, maybe, the grades went up like this for the first 2 years, and then down the hill in the third, because I did not really connect with it. I could not understand concepts, and there were communication gaps. So the overall third year was not so good, except the dissertation part, which we'll be talking about later on. So in the third year, apart from this, I was involved in my father's business as well. So this was about college. College ended in 2021. And so I'll briefly talk about my hometown. Then we'll move towards my father's business and my involvement in his business too at the time of COVID. So since I do not come from a larger city, I come from a small town, which is Nagda. I would want to talk about that as well, because not a lot of people would know where it is and how the culture over here could be. Nagda is situated on the banks of River Chambal. It has this huge plant of Grasim Industries, which is a part of the Aditya Birla Group, run by Birlas in India. The managing director being Kumar Mangalam Birla. So the industry, the factory, is the source of the source of revenue, source of everything in Nagda.
Right.
The economy the economy in Nagda runs because of this factory.
Yeah.
There are thousands of employees, thousands of laborers working in this factory, because of which the economy runs, and the nearby economies as well.
Yeah.
The school in which I studied is the Aditya Birla Public School, which is set up by the charitable branch of the same industry.
Yeah.
They not only run this one school, they run two more schools and a hospital.
Yeah.
That is, and they have a temple as well. So because they have this school, this public school in Nagda, teachers from across the country could come over here and teach.
Yeah.
The staff and the students being kids of the staff who come from across the country and who have stayed abroad as well, they came to this particular town, and they were my they were my classmates.
Yeah.
So being in a small town, I had exposure to teachers from across the country and students who have lived abroad as well.
Yeah.
I don't think so. A lot of kids, even studying in top schools in a large city, might have that kind of exposure.
You're right.
I should be grateful to the industry and its presence in Nagda that I could get such an exposure. My dad, now coming towards my dad's business and my involvement in it. My dad runs a edible oil distribution business in Nagda since 35 years. He started it by himself and has grown it, nurtured it like a kid.
Yeah.
So while at school, I was involved in it, not as much, but after coming back from Pune, getting a bit more mature, though it was the period of COVID, but my involvement was much more sound and more enriching.
Okay.
During the lockdown, the business was not full-fledged, but since it was related to edibles, edible oils and foods, we were allowed to run operations, but for stipulated time periods. So we had to open our godowns and shop at 6 a.m. in the morning and shut it by 10.
Yeah.
So we used to wake up by 4 a.m. And prepare bills and ready goods for dispatch. And by 10 everything was done, and in the afternoons we were all free, watching movies, eating, like everyone doing. So I was doing dishes, dad was brooming the house, mama was preparing something, so the entire family was here, and we had a wonderful time, though it was a bad period for a lot of people. But still, it was in a way time to spend with family, and I would not forget those years. So having been involved in my dad's business and looking at things or experiencing things personally, I would say ease of doing business is not really is not a reality. I mean, it's just a concept. Maybe, in words, in brochures or in posters, it might look good. But on the ground, it is not so easy to do business as of now.
Okay.
I would like to put an example of land reform, land records in India. So this is a very funny example, might sound absurd, but to some extent, it could be true. I have made it funnier to put it across. So if you buy a land, for instance, it is situated, it is it is on the roadside, and it's a shape of a square.
Yeah.
After 3 years, when you ask a government official to measure it again, it is still on the road, but it's a rectangle now.
Yeah.
It's not square.
Yeah.
After 5 years, you ask another, so that particular government official is now replaced by some other official.
Yeah.
Who does things his own way.
Yeah.
So he comes and measures your land. It is no more on the road.
Yeah.
And it's probably a triangle now. So this is the state of land records in India. or maybe particularly in my locality, my vicinity, I should not quote, I should not comment on the entire country's system.
Yeah.
But this is what I have experienced over here.
Yeah.
Doing business is tough. The inspector Raj has come back. That is terrible. And even if you do a legitimate business, it is very difficult for you to do it. It would rather be easier for somebody to do an illegitimate business than do a legitimate business in such a scenario. So that was about my dad's business, my town. And now I'll talk about my dissertation, which was on urban local bodies, their empowerment. So urban local bodies, ULBs, I studied three urban local bodies: Indore, that is a municipal corporation; Ujjain, that is another municipal corporation; and Nagdas, which is a municipal council.
Yeah.
Having different populations, different demographics. Indore, which has been in news for being the cleanest city in India for the couple of years. Ujjain being also a top ranker, and Nagda being somewhere near the bottom, or a low line, or at an average score. Also scoring town. So we're talking about the conclusion of the research. I pointed out that the self-generating income, or the self-generating revenue, which was taxes for these ULBs, was less than 50%, even for Indore.
Yeah.
So on for the major part of their revenue, they were dependent on the center or the state.
Yes.
That makes them vulnerable to the ministers or to the officials situated in Bhopal or Delhi to be merciful or to be generous towards them to do a project or do something which they actually wanted to do. But the projects were imposed upon them, or things were not done according to what was required for the city, rather was planned by those at the top.
Yeah.
And that might not have been right for the city at that time, or according to what was needed. So one of the recommendations out of the research is that cities, not only cities but towns and panchayats, should be given more independence, and the idea of having a local government should actually come into practice if they are given more independence, and that is financial independence. So that if they can generate revenue on their own, they have the discretion of using it on their own and for the benefit of the public at large, whom they are in touch with, whom they know better, not the center or not the state. So problems faced by a ULB, problems faced by a resident, for instance me, are better known to the corporator or the president of my council, not the minister sitting in the center or the state. So that is something that they can do. And for land reforms as well, terribly, there needs to be amended. Something has to be done. Otherwise, that's it. Now coming towards my...
Hang on, you didn't talk much about CFA.
Oh, right, I skipped that part. Sorry. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So in the stage 4 after college, I started preparing for CFA. So CFA is Chartered Financial Analyst. It is a charter given by CFA Institute, situated in the United States of America. There are currently around 1 lakh to 2 lakh charter holders across the country, across the world. I aspire to be one. You have to clear 3 examinations and then have relevant work experience to become a charter holder. I appeared for the first two examinations in 2022, cleared both of them, and as I said earlier, I appeared for the third one in the month of August this year, and the results are due. The mathematics part, which I talked about earlier, the interest in mathematics and its application in economics, and the same over here in the CFA curriculum, was the reason I was fascinated. I got interested towards the curriculum, and I enjoyed studying both
Yeah,
uh, at the time of my graduation and the entire CFA.
yeah.
Uh, and yeah, so
So if you become a CFA,
yes, sir.
is it valid in India or is it a US charter?
It is acceptable across the world.
Okay.
So, though the institute is situated in India, but it is gaining reputation definitely in India and across the world as well. Europe,
Is
Middle
it
East.
situated in India or is it situated in US? I'm not clear.
The CFA Institute is situated. The institute which gives the charter is situated in the United States. They only take the exams, though the centers are spread across the world. But they are the ones who frame the paper and conduct the examinations.
And so if you get a CFA charter, you can actually get a job in any country because
Yes,
you have the credential that is worldwide.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is acceptable and recognized across the world.
Okay, so what will you do with it if you get the charter?
So I first of all I have to meet the requirement, that is the work experience. Getting the charter is like boosting your career. So it was quoted somewhere that with similar skill sets, a charter holder gets paid 50% more than that person.
Okay.
So I would get better opportunities as to a person with similar skills without a charter would get. I would be acceptable since, as mentioned earlier, I would be my charter or my skills will be acceptable across the world and not just in India or the US or any other country. I plan to move abroad, so that would be helpful. So that cannot happen right away. So I'll start working in some company in India, and then probably move abroad, start looking for jobs abroad, and then move abroad. So that's how CFA would help me do that.
Okay, how many years of work experience do you need?
3,600 hours spread across 3 years, if I'm not wrong. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
But so 36 months and 4,000 hours. There's some.
Okay, fine. I get it. I get it. It'll take you 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. 3 years
Right.
for sure.
And you cannot, and you can you get this in Nagda or you have to move out?
So the job is to be should be helpful in investment decision making.
Okay.
So it should be related to investment decision making. If that's available in Nagda, fine and good. I mean, the institute would accept it. I don't think so. That is available in Nagda. I'm pretty sure. So I have to move out, maybe to the financial capital of the country, that is Mumbai. And in order to support that work experience, I will have to have recommendations and certifications from CFA charter holders and other investment professionals. So there are none in Nagda, and no charter holders in Nagda.
So that's what I was going to ask you, that this is your dream on your own. There's nobody here who's guiding you.
In a way, no, sir.
No, right? But do you know people elsewhere who have done it and who can help you, or you are able to do it on your own? That's my question.
Google is very helpful. Quora, I've made connections through LinkedIn. I'm now connected to a lot of charter holders or students who are preparing or who have cleared the 3 levels. maybe who are currently working. So I am, it is not a one day's job. I am getting in touch with people, speaking with them, getting to know their experiences and their thoughts about what should be done, their suggestions. And that's helpful. I think that would help. Um, but choosing CFA was, I did not choose it because someone told me to. I previously talked about um, random choices. Choosing symbiosis and economics was a random decision. I could say the same for CFA. I went through. Uh, so right after economics, I wanted to go abroad for masters because of
Yeah.
COVID that happened. What to do then? So I looked up online. I was like, this particular thing has a lot of economics. It has statistics. It has things related to accounting, portfolio management, and mathematics. Let's try something. Like, I went through videos on YouTube about different subjects. Like, people teach and put up videos,
Yeah.
tutorials and stuff like that. So I went through those. I liked what they taught. I went online, read things on Quora. I went through the CFA Institute's website. I liked it. I spoke with a few tutors, signed up with them, filled the exams, this thing form right after, like within a month, and the exam was 6 months later.
Yeah.
So that's it. I
Okay, good.
started preparing, and that's how it happened.
Yeah, wonderful. It is taking advantage of the technology that is available today to reach out and find resources, even if they are not local, right?
That's very correct.
Yeah.
Staying back in Nagda 10 years back, I could have never imagined that we would have been sitting here and I would be speaking with somebody, in the United States of America.
Yeah. This is, but the thing is that the young people in India are very innovative and they take full advantage of the new approaches and the new technologies. So that's what I wanted to really hear from you, that, sitting in a small town, you have global ambitions and you are able to meet that global ambition because you know how to use the available resources.
Maybe because the resources are available to me and it is easier to access things now. I did not realize it till the time you mentioned it now, that it has become much easier for me, which would not have been possible for maybe my brother who is 12 years elder to me, or my parents. Definitely not.
Definitely not. Yeah. Okay, great. So thank you for that. Let's move on to gardening. It's a personal experience to me because I'm also a gardener. So let's listen. Let's listen.
Wow.
All right.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So almost 10 years, 12 years back, we moved into this new house. Earlier, we used to live in the market area. So I don't know if you could relate to it. So there are houses adjacent to houses, and there's no space. I mean, there's a street, there's the house right on the street, and there's a shop, and we lived upstairs.
Yeah.
There was no place to actually plant trees or have uh, even have pots in the house.
Yeah.
Other than the balcony.
Yeah.
So we had 2-3 plants over there. I was a kid back then, so it didn't make much difference. So when we shifted over here to this new place in a colony, we had a spare plot right beside our house, and so for a couple of years we didn't do anything on it. But my father decided, let's sell it out. We are not using it, so let's sell it out. But I was like, Dad, let's keep it. I'll do something with it. I'll maybe grow some trees and make a walkway and put a swing, and we'll have a good time. Spend some time over there, have a nice family time over there. So that's how it started. In order to not sell the property and keep it for ourselves, and so I was not really keen. I did not have any keen interest into gardening till then. So I developed it gradually when I did it over here. So we started with a few plants, 10, 15 plants. And I did, not recently, but 2-3 years ago, I did count. We had almost 115 plants, shrubs, herbs, and pots including. And that must have grown, definitely. So from 15 to 115, the journey goes 7-8 years.
Yeah.
There was a point rather indeed at the time of COVID, I used to spend almost 2 to 3 hours in the garden,
Yeah.
tilling, watering,
Yeah.
experimenting,
Yeah.
planting vegetables,
Yeah.
then indoor plants, outdoor plants,
Yeah.
cuttings, and
Yeah.
different ways how to reproduce plants, not just
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
seeds,
Yeah.
leaves, and stems, and things like that. Planting coconut trees in the black soil over here, and then other trees as well. So it is in a way, I believe it is a way to meditate where there's nobody around you, you're focused on something, and you can channelize your thoughts at the same time being productive
Yeah.
and doing something what you like.
I agree with you fully. I agree. And so, I mean, when I do my gardening, I have only what in Hindi we say khurpi and phawra. I don't have any,
Exactly, same,
no
same, same,
tools.
same.
Do it
No
slowly.
gloves, nothing,
Nothing.
nothing
Just do it
fancy.
slowly and gently so that you're able to channelize your thoughts and also get some results on the ground. Right? It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, but it happens. Okay.
It does happen. Totally
Yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah.
I even attended. Had it been the daytime, I could have shown you the garden through the video call itself.
Yeah.
At the time of COVID, while we had online lectures, I used to sit in the garden and attend lectures. In summers, it was not possible.
Yeah.
Definitely, but in the times of winter,
Yeah.
in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So the last couple of lectures after lunch, I used to sit over there near my beloved trees under their shade. It was lovely. Such a
Wonderful.
wonderful experience.
So the land is still yours, right?
It is still us. And we
Okay.
purchased another plot near it.
All right. Wonderful. All
Extended
right.
the garden.
Good. So let's get to your conclusion.
Conclusion. So I did actually conclude it in a way when I was talking about the reform and
Okay.
the dissertation part.
Okay.
So
All right. So anything you want to tell the youngsters who might be watching? Because you made a conscious plan to be a lawyer. When it failed, you took some random decision. And you went
that's what I
into
was.
something and then you took another random decision, what you call random. I don't know what it means, but you're happy with the random decision and you are planning for the future big. Even from a small town, you're planning big. So how does it work? I mean, what is your thought on that?
So choosing Symbiosis and economics was random, right?
Yeah.
And I did not prepare much, which I scored well. And I did not research much, but I liked it better.
Yeah.
So at times when we focus on things, when we target some things, like focusing, having a prepared mindset, having a set course of action is good. Being organized is definitely good.
Yeah.
But at times we can let things be on fate. Let the fate decide. Let the nature decide. If you believe in God, let God decide what's going to happen. You cannot control everything around you.
Yeah.
That is not possible.
Yeah.
So giving in is at times suitable rather than thinking of controlling things by yourself.
Okay.
And staying back in a small town, it's not the colonial or maybe the pre-digitization world anymore. The world has become a global village. So even from a small village having a population of 1,000 or 5,000, you can send across payments to someone sitting abroad.
Yeah.
you can get connected with anybody across the globe. Even watch the Chandrayaan land on the moon.
Yeah.
So not even the solar system is far away.
Okay.
So we must not lose hope. The future is really bright, and
Yeah.
it would get brighter and brighter with the days to come.
Okay, wonderful. That's a great conclusion to have. So let's say bye to the viewers. Maybe in 1 year, where can you get rid of the screen so that
Yeah,
we can talk better, right? Maybe in a year we catch up with you to see where you are finished. You would have some work experience. Hopefully, August you give the test. You will be done by October. They'll tell you the result, and
yeah.
that
By October, I'll have the results.
yeah, then they would have put you on a path. Now it's not random. Now it's a path that you are on. Though it may turn out to be random too. Who knows? But
Yeah, choosing an organization to work with, choosing a country to settle into.
yeah.
I don't think so. I'm not bracketing myself or confining myself to a particular organization or a particular workplace to be at.
Okay. All right. Great. So Vaibhav, let's end it here. And we'll be back to you, I hope, in a year, and then we'll hear from you again. For the moment, let's say bye to the viewers. And I'll be back with another young Indian or an expert soon. Till then, bye everybody.
Bye. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.